Okay, so here we have a timetable. Obviously mine is a bit smaller than yours. And this should look pretty much like what you have now for your timetable. Or you've done double classes with col span or row span. The most interesting thing about this table is that because we've used THs for the header cells, we can style them very differently in the CSS, because we can say wherever you have a TD, I want it this way, but wherever you have a TH, I want it this other way. And so they can look very different. Now, I'm going to do this live now, as opposed to show you one I made earlier. So that's always a bad idea, I think, but we give it a go now. So, if you look here at the 9 o'clock on a Monday, this networking table cell here, inside in the TD tag, so inside in the tag itself, I'm saying TD space class equals net. So I'm giving this TD tag a class. In fact, I'm giving all of the networking cells this class called TD. So it's still a TD, but we can also talk about just the TDs that are of the class net. Similarly, this class here, this cell here, I'm saying TD class equals web. And this allows us to do something interesting. So in the CSS, we still have the CSS for the TDs, just as we had before. But I'm going to say, wherever you have a TD, actually let me just scroll that up to the top there so people can see it a bit better. So wherever you have a TD that's of class net, so TD.net, so if there's a TD cell that's of class net, we're going to use these rules. We're just going to say background, let's say, there's the hash key. What should that be?
Green.
Some sort of green. Hopefully a nice, tasteful dark green, but we shall see. Nothing to see here. Am I looking at the right one? And so I am. Okay, like I said, doing these things live is always a bad idea. Let me save that. And nothing. Okay. Sorry, I'm still using the old style sheet. Okay, so I made a new style sheet as well called style sheet 2. Sorry. Okay. File under duh. No. Okay, now I've run out of excuses. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So now all of the TDs are still in blue, and all of the TD properties are still in play for all of the TDs. Even the text property and the border property, that still applies to all of the TDs. But for any TD that has the class net, such as those ones there, then this property is going to apply. Okay. Let's see what we can do with td.web. Okay. So with classes, it should be possible for you to color code your timetable. And you do that by giving each class the same class. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing there that we use the same word. But so each of your modules, each class for each lesson of an individual module, you give them all the same class. So every lesson in the same module will have the same class. And then you can talk about just those TDs. Now you notice that all of the other properties that you specified for TDs generally, they're still in play, okay? So the font and the size and the border, all that's still good to go. But anything you put in where you specify the specific class, it's going to supersede those. They're going to have a higher priority. So here, this is saying they should be this color, TDs should be this color, but then because this is more specific, it's saying it should be that color. So what I would like you to do now is to make sure you've finished off your timetable, okay? If you still haven't done your timetable, like hint, hint, you're probably going to have to do that. Although at this stage, this is probably the last thing we're going to do with the timetables. But there's no getting away from doing that. So do that, mess around with the styling, and then you want to give it a color code. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you pick a different font for each class, and a different text size for each class, and have different borders for the different classes. That'll probably make it very hard to read, But certainly color coding your modules does seem like a good idea. Any questions on that? Really get the idea? So let me just recap now. So inside in the HTML, inside in the TD tag itself, in that tag, you say class equals whatever. And then you can say TD dot and the name of the class to apply some rules to those special TDs. Any questions? Okay, very good.